Welcome to Mary's Eclectic Interests. Today's show is about plastic containers. And plastic containers are in our lives daily. We buy food in them, just multiple ways of getting plastic containers. Sometimes I can find alternate uses for them. Now this is something I buy all the time. I'm always buying cashews or mixed nuts, and it comes in this really nice container. It's nice and solid, it's square on the bottom. It's not going to tip over very well. I have taken these empty ones, and in my garage on an upper shelf, I've taken the top, and we're not going to go out there, but I have drilled a hole in here, put a screw, put it on the underside of the shelf, and then put things in the bottom and screwed them in there. And then when I want them, I could just look up. I go, oh, I want, whatever item I'm looking for. There it is. I don't need a label. I don't need anything. And I just unscrew the bottom, take out what I want. Now these are for my den, as I call it, my art room, my den. And some things are going to be going in different parts of the house. But these are the things I want to put in these jars. And I have 4 of these. First of all, I have these very old children's blocks. And I keep thinking I'm going to do a project with them. And these blocks keep getting shoved into a corner. It's hard for me to find them at times because I just don't remember where I shoved them because I'm not using them at that moment. And then I'm going, what did I do with those old blocks? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of them in this container. I can see exactly what's in here. And I can just put it either on a bookshelf or something else, but somewhere where I can see it. And I have a lot of shelving in my den that I can put this. And when I get done here, I had a little trouble. I want to get this one in here. Come on, get in there. There we go. And here's, is it going to go in there? I know I've gotten it in here before. There, because I tried this out before I did this. It's in. All right, now whether I'll ever get it out or not, I don't know. But it's obvious what's in this jar. Now I can put this up on a bookshelf and have the books going across like this. This can be a bookend. But basically it's so I can see it and find it. I also have all of these, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, these are oil pastels. And I go thrift storing a lot. And a lot of times I will see those kits. People buy them for kids, for birthdays, or Christmas, different holiday seasons. And they go, oh yeah, let's get that for so on and so forth, because they like to work in art. Well, I just keep picking them up and picking them up, and I keep throwing them in this bag. Well, now I'm going to throw them in here. And look how much nicer this looks. And I will put this on the shelf. Yes, I have a shelf of strictly art material. So this will go on the art material shelf. This is something I also use in art. For some reason, I like sponges, and especially these ones that have the pores in them. There's real sponges. And I'm going to throw these in here. Again, they were actually in a wicker basket. And the other day I was looking for them, and so I had to pull down all these baskets. So I'm going to take that basket down, and I'm going to put the sponge in here, put it back on that same shelf. Now I won't have to look for it, because guess what? There it is. Now my 4th jar, I told you I have a lot of these, and pretty soon I'm going to have a 5th one. I have tons of buttons. On my previous show, I did a button picture frame but a lot of these buttons are mine that I've collected over the years. Some from where I used to work, from their art classes. I also have more than that. I have my grandmother's buttons and my mother's buttons, but these, there's really not too many that match. That's why I'm not too concerned about them. I went through the other buttons, my mother's and my grandmother's, and I matched them all up. So those are in a different kind of container. But look at how nice this looks. Doesn't that look better than it being in a Ziploc bag? So now I can put this on a shelf and I can look at it. Maybe I'll be inspired and I'll say, oh, let's do some other project with buttons. So we have just completed that. Now, just so you know, these Ziploc bags, I am not throwing them away. The only time I ever throw away a Ziploc bag is if meat has gotten into contact with it. And that's very rare. I usually have everything prepackaged. Then slide this in for extra freezer care. So these I usually will rinse them out. And in the laundry room I have these little clips. And I clip them up like this. And they dry and I reuse them. Now these, I get different like collagen and different things like that, and there's usually a label on here and they come off quite easily. This I can't show you what's in here. I had a huge bottle of canvas primer and the bottom of the bottle broke and I was desperate. This container was empty, so I have taken it from there and poured it in here. Now this is a much more slender container than what it was originally in, and it actually fits on the shelf better. This one I have not labeled in the front yet. I did put on the top what it is, and but I will be relabeling it on the bottom. Now here is one that I just finished. This is collagen peptide, one of the collagen bottles. Sometimes I can get these labels up really easy. I mean, it's just, I've done other shows with this where I've taken and rolled up magazine, and I'll put a picture of that up there for you. There, look at how easy it is to get these off. It's not any issue at all. So in the garage, I have these lined up, and I put used batteries in one, the small halogen light bulbs in another, whatever I need to recycle down at my recycle center, and it's all in one place. And when I do get the time to go down there, I just take them down and recycle them and put my little containers back in the garage again. But these will be used for something totally different, and I have no idea now what they're going to be, but eventually they will be used because they are really, really nice containers. Here are some other plastic containers that I've always saved. Actually, here's one that I have in my freezer right now, and they freeze very nice. I made a batch of brownies, and I have put them in my freezer, so I'm not eating them all at once. I just put a little bit of freezer paper in between. And look, I can just take them out. It's no big deal, one at a time. But sometimes I'll take these, and I've been invited someplace, and sometimes when you go to a neighborhood function or family function, and you're bringing something or making something, you have 4 containers, and you can fill them with whatever you want. I mean, maybe they wanted you to bring vegetables. Well, then you could have one for carrots, one for celery, maybe some for cauliflower, broccoli, whatever you like. And the nice thing, and then bring a dip on the side. The nice thing is, at the end of the evening, or however long you're there, if there's still food in there, and there's still people there, you don't have to go and take it home. You just go up to the host or hostess and say, you know, I'm heading out now, but don't worry about the containers. They're just ones that, you know, you can just keep them or recycle them, but I don't need you to worry about getting them back to me. And that's what's really nice about these. Okay, now here's something else that you can get. You'll recognize these. You get these in a lot of different drinks that you buy, the powdered drinks. And they want you to measure out the powder and put it in whatever you're going to be making. Well, you can see I have a whole bunch of these. And I like them. I like them for when I put one in my flour containers, my sugar containers. I have them in anything that I may want to just kind of go in and scoop a little bit in. Even in my oatmeal container, I'll have it in there because I'll just use that and fill in a 1 cup measuring thing. But I have these all over the place. And I'm not even sure where I got these. They don't sit. But they're still, can always find a use for them. We're going to continue on with take-home containers. This happens to be one of my favorites. It's from the restaurant down the street, 50's Grill. I don't know if I can say that or not, but I happen to like their pot pies. And I usually get them. I'll go over and I'll buy several of them. And this is the container they come in. Well, look at how nice this is. It has the lid, it has the bottom. Well, let's say you're making chili or soup or anything else. You put it in here, you put on your lid, you put on your label, put it in the freezer, stack them up, stack them and rack them, that's what I say. And then you take them out, put them in the microwave, eat right out of the container, because that's what I did with pot pie. Now here are 3 tiny, tiny little, I'm going to do them upside down. Little, I'm thinking what came in them, and I'm not sure, was maybe a salad dressing or something from a restaurant. But I like these for when I'm cooking. Let's say you want salt. You measure out your salt. Well, here's your salt. Here's your cinnamon. Here's this. They're small, and then you just take them and throw them in. So they're really nice. I'm hoping to get some more of these because I really like them. These, I believe, are fruit cups. And the one thing I just like is there aren't any lids. These fruit cups used to come with lids. Now they don't. This is a fruit cup. I believe this was a pudding. And you can see the difference here. And this one, I think, is applesauce. So we have different kinds. And you can use them for different reasons. I took 2 of these. And this is what I did with them. I put Jell-O in them. Now you're talking to somebody that has never done this before, so let's see what happens. This is Jell-O. I sprayed oil inside and made these last night, and I have an idea for one of my shows coming up. Let's see if I can get it out. Come on, it's got to come out. I sprayed it well. My Jell-O idea may not work. There it goes. Okay. I'll bring another plate out. Take this out of here. Let's see if I can get this one. So this one should be a little easier. Except for I cut part of it off, but I'll ignore that. So here's my 2 little Jell-Os, and they're shaped different. And it was an experiment, and I thought, let's give it a whirl. This is something that I've purchased in the store. I use a lot of baking soda. And I spotted this in the store. For one reason only did I buy it. You could take the top off and you can refill it. And there's a pour spout and there's a sprinkle spout. Then when it gets down or out, I refill it. And I usually buy bigger baking soda boxes than this, but this is simpler. But I refill it. But this looks so much better on my counter than this. And if I grab this with wet hands, I don't have to worry about it as much. And I'm always, always using baking soda. I use it to clean the tea stains out of my cups. I use it for so many different things. And this is just looks so much nicer on my counter than a box of baking soda. Going along with the baking soda, the other thing I usually keep on my counter happens to be your dish soap. And I don't want this great big thing of dish soap on my counter. I just don't have the room. I have a little house. So through the years, I've bought 3 of these. I have one in the kitchen, one in the laundry room because this is a great stain remover, Dawn Liquid is, and I have one in the garage. And what I do is I buy the big ones, I try to get them on sale or whatever I want to do, and I just take the covers off, tip it upside down, and refill them. My neighbor wanted to know how many years I had that Dawn Liquid sitting on that counter there in the garage. He says, I never see it go down. And I explained to him, well, you don't see it go down is because I refill it with a larger container. He just thought that was the funniest thing he had ever seen. Now the next item we're going to look at, and because I'm trying to get rid of the big items, this is a great big container of glue, which is less expensive for me than buying multiple containers of this. And I learned this little trick from someone else, that they buy this and then they refill this. And I'm not going to do it because I will literally ruin my tablecloth if I don't do it in a bowl or something. But I use a little funnel, put that in there and pour this into here, and voila, there's my glue. Also, talking about glue, I have some very favorite containers I use for putting glue in. And one of them just fell on the floor. These are containers that you get at the deli. Okay, I admit it. I like the deli. I have lots of deli containers. But I also like them for when I do a project. Because what do? I take the glue out of this big container, or the smaller one, because I'm trying to get rid of my smaller ones anyway, but I pour it in here. And when I pour it in here, if I don't finish the project or there's glue left over, I've got this really nice lid, and it goes on, and it keeps it fresh for several days. Now everybody recognizes these. And I don't have something in every single one. I do have in here, this is the perfect size for quarters. That's what's in here. All kinds of quarters. You'll see them. That's what's in here. There's $10 worth of quarters in this container. So when I go and let's say I want to shoot some pool, which I admit I'm a horrible pool player, but my one neighbor and I were doing that for fun, and we just had a good time. We knew that we weren't great pool players, but they take quarters. And instead of having loose change, I put everything in here, put it in my jacket pocket or my pants pocket, and off we go. I also use them to put in, and I have several here. I'm saving these for the larger ones that I have, but this is for X-Acto knife blades. And instead, I don't want to throw these in the trash can. This is a used dull one, but still, it's sharp. So I put these in here so I know that this is a used one, and I know it's a dull one, and I know eventually when this is full, it will be thrown. These are for the larger things that I use that are sharp, different kinds of blades. Now this one is a little different. It's called Vial of Life. Years ago, they were asking people to take an empty pill box and put this label on it, and then in the pill box put a list of your medications or your doctor, what hospital you're going to go to, that type of thing. And then if there was an emergency, you could just grab this and everything would be in here. Nowadays, it's all in your smartphone. But not everybody can afford a smartphone, and not everybody really understands how to use them in different age groups, not just mine. But I am in the process of putting mine in the smartphone. Hopefully I will have the smartphone with me. Thank you for watching Mary's Eclectic Interests. Take care and stay safe.